congrats on the win.
Thank you, sir.
I think that performance was so impressive, but your post-fight speech might have been even more impressive. Now,
May I ask why? I'm sorry. It
was very inspirational. You gave props to your dad. You thanked all your friends and family, everybody that helped you get to this moment.
No, I appreciate that, sir. I'm just happy to be here, and I'm grateful everybody's saying that was an impressive performance. I feel like I got hit more than I should have, if I'm being honest, but, he was red, so.
Is that how did the fight play out the way that you anticipated it to?
For sure. I knew I was going to have to withstand some pressure and power from him, but with all due respect to him, he's just too sloppy, wild punches. My coach was calling me, telling me in the back, like, he can't fight off his back foot, so as long as we're pressuring, he's not going to be able to land shit, which was the story for tonight. Anytime I gave him a break, he landed a 1, 2, 3 combo. It was pretty heavy, and I think that he understood pretty quick that I wasn't going nowhere. So we watched his will kind of deplete right before our eyes.
You said you're not that happy with your performance. Did you feel that there were opportunities in that first round to maybe get a finish, and that's why you were disappointed, or?
Absolutely. He buckled his knees a couple of times and was falling back against the cage. And unfortunately, I don't want to say my cardio failed me, but it wasn't where I wanted it to be in this fight, just because I know what I'm capable of. And for some reason, I just couldn't find the space. But that being said, we got her done. So.
You mentioned in your post-fight interview about your gas tank and your cardio and how you think it's the best in the heavyweight division. Have you always had a gas tank like that, or is it something you work really hard at?
Bro, I was 520 pounds, just a fat little bastard, playing football and running around and losing all that weight. I played basketball recreationally, just trying to get into shape, on top of the weightlifting. And I got Thomas the Train Peterson here with me. I think there's something special going on in our fucking room out in Minnesota. All these heavyweights got some pretty serious gas tanks, and I think mine's up there with the best for sure.
If you weren't fighting, would you be playing a different sport, you think?
I might be selling dope. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just playing. Yeah. It's better money to a certain degree.
Well, maybe you get that $50K bonus. Wow.
Hey, I'm not going to sit here and beg for it, but I hope the brass was happy, and whoever they want me next, man, I'm there.
Can I ask you about a moment? I think it was in the first round where you bloodied him up and you licked the blood off your glove. Is that something that just kind of happened spur of the moment, or is that a tactic you kind of used to get in your opponent's head?
Oh, man, I knew it. Sean blocked me as soon as we signed the contract. He tried to make up kind of an excuse saying that my fans were attacking him and that's why he blocked me. And I immediately was just like, oh, man, you're not being sincere. Like, my fans don't shit talk. Everyone knows what I've came from. And the second I see any of my people talking shit, I'm like, yo, shut that down. Like, I don't like that. I like to be humble. I like to be respectful. This is a sport after all. You know what I mean? I'm not here to kill nobody. I mean, I know they're here to take money out of my pockets, food off of my table, but fuck, I respect every single guy I'm standing across from, except for Anthony Garasio. But yeah, no, I hope that was a solid answer.
You mentioned your father. You said you stole his day job. I assume that was Concrete, and that's your nickname.
Yeah.
I noticed in the octagon, have you gotten some sun while you've been here in Vegas? Because I did notice like a little farmer's sunburn on the back.
Man, get the fuck out of here. I ain't walking around this place with no shirt off and shit. You see my body? No, I know. I'm just giving you a hard time. No, I've definitely been outside. But no, my farmer's tan, I think, is just genetic at this point.
Gotcha. Last one for me, obviously training in Minnesota. There's another heavyweight coming, a prospect, like Gable Stevenson. Dana said last week that he's probably pretty close to coming into the UFC. What do you think of his rise as a wrestler, MMA fighter, having that Minnesota connection?
I've rubbed shoulders with Gable a couple of times. I don't have really anything negative to say about him. Dude's a hard-ass worker. He's one of the first in the gym, one of the last to leave. So, whatever, he's a good dude. Rubbing shoulders with him in the training room and shit. All power to him. He wants to go get it.
Is that a fight you'd be interested in?
Man, we're kind of half-ass training together. Whatever the UFC wants, I want. So, I'm not calling anybody out by name. I respect Gable. You know, like I said, we trained together a handful of times. I like him. I ain't got no issues with him. But like I said, if the UFC wants to make that, that's what it is.
Congrats on the win.
Thank you, sir.
Why the Gracio? Was that just what he talked about and then how he came out and performed, or was there something specific?
All that shit. And then he fucking got slept by, well, he got murked by somebody that I had a problem with. You know, Larry Gonzalez deserved to be here way before Anthony Gracio. So I'm hoping the UFC gives Larry Gonzalez his chance up soon. I'd like to see my boy in here putting on some performances because me and him got nominated for Fight of the Year in LFA. And he's just like me, you know. So fuck Anthony.
And I know a lot of people always talk about the weight loss. I mean, it is such a monumental thing. But in terms of like, you're walking around carrying 500 pounds, how much, obviously your strength improves as your cardio and as you drop weight, but how strong were you even when you were still at that weight? And when you lost it, how much has your speed, your strength, and everything improved that some people maybe might be surprised about?
Excuse me, I'm sorry.
You're all good.
When I was a big dude, I mean, I still am a big dude, but when I was a fucking massive fat piece of shit, I'm just kidding. I used to move, like my father runs his own businesses. We used to do odd jobs and stuff. We used to carry 500-pound treadmills relatively easily between the two of us. I can't do that no more. You know, I hurt my back. My speed has improved significantly. I always had a gas tank as a fat guy because I like to hoop, running up and down the basketball court. But 100% the biggest improvement is my speed and my cardio. I think that I'm able to outlast a lot of guys. And with that cardio, I'm not willing to accept position. I'm not willing to, give up. So I definitely think that it's a blessing. My power, I think I've gotten stronger as I've lost the weight, but kind of hard to say. I used to put up 315 for reps when I was 400 and some pounds. So
It's crazy.
yeah, I know. It's weird. It's a lifetime ago.
I'm trying to find the numbers. I know you're making it sound like you weren't really that happy with your performance tonight, but when you go back and, they're already starting to talk about it on the records. So for a 3-round fight, you now have the significant straight record. They said on the broadcast 168, but I'm seeing that they wrote 170 on the tweet. So 170 is a significant straight record for a 3-fight heavyweight fight. That, as well as it is number 2 to the second most UFC heavyweight strikes behind Daniel Cormier's 181, but that was a 5-round fight, and that was UFC at UFC 241. So you're saying you weren't happy with your performance, but you're setting records.
Sean would have stuck in there a little longer. I would have beat DC shit too. Unhappy with the performance 100%. I feel like I could have got it done in one if everything was stars are aligned perfectly. That being said, I just got here. I'm 4 years into my journey. I'm only growing. This is just the start of Steven Concrete.
Well, even with that, a lot of people, want to kind of grab at while the iron's hot and hop in there multiple times. But there's also something about being smart and picking your fights and picking when you're multiple times. But so looking at 2026, I mean, what is the perfect number for you that you feel like you're coming in at the top of your game, not rushing it, no injuries? What's the perfect number for you?
I mean, since I've started, I've had damn near 4 to 5 fights in a calendar year since I've, started this journey. 4 fights has been pretty decent lately. That being said, I'm new. I'm a baby in this game, and I have a lot of connections as of late. I've had a lot of people reach out to me and offer me advice and other places to kind of grow my horizons. I'm absolutely taking people up on that shit.
Yep.
I want to see the best version of myself. I want to reach every set of potential I possibly can. I'm just here. I'm just getting here, and I haven't even reached the precipice of who I'm supposed to be, so we're just going to keep growing and trying to figure out what the next step is. Hopefully, the UFC wants me active. I'll step in there whenever. I don't care. I like money, and I like the fans enjoying the fights. I hope to God that this was a fun fight to watch. I mean, from the blood all over me, I'm assuming it was okay.
It was a bloody mess. It was pretty awesome.
Off with the head. No, I'm sorry. Heads will roll. I'm not really a singer, but we'll get there.
And, I mean, with the fans, you mentioned before, you tell your fans usually when they're starting the line, they're starting to get chippy, you're like, calm down. There is something about fighters that try to get on here, try to talk themselves into a lot of big fights. You have a way with words, even though you can tell that you're kind of holding back. You're trying to be good. Dad's in the room. Maybe you're playing nice. But, I mean, are you willing to be that, guy that really talks and gets those fights, or would you rather be the guy that you just want to let your hands do the talking, and maybe on time at certain times you'll chirp a little bit if you need to?
I have so many names at the top of my list. It's ridiculous. But I was asked by a couple people to shut the fuck up. So I'm going to do whatever the UFC wants, whatever they want next, whenever, whoever. I'm game. I'd like to make it a sensible climb up, right? Sean had his first fight in the UFC not long ago. I was able to meet him in my debut. Let's make fights that make sense. There's some new signees that are a lot of fun, you know, whatever. Whatever happens, happens. And I'm just happy to be here.
And last one, you had mentioned that people were giving you ideas or advice on how to take the ride up. Have any UFC fighters said like, hey, you know, try to, you know, take your time, or who's giving you the best advice?
My big brother, Tommy Peterson, baby. He's led the charge the whole time throughout this whole thing. Without him, I have nothing. And that is the God's honest truth. I owe the majority of my career to him, taking me in, teaching me wrestling, giving me my head coach now in Caitlin Young, and all these other beautiful people I have along with me, Isaiah Gomez, Alvin Guzzi Hines, Billy Simon. Fuck, the list goes on, Minnesota top team. I'm beyond grateful. You know, I have a lot of people back at home. McCoon's Martial Arts, that's where I got my start. And I love everybody that I've been able to rub shoulders with. And unfortunately, I've had to go a separate way because of certain things. But I got the man himself in the back there fucking leading the charge and giving me any sort of advice I need and giving me all the confidence in the world. So we're riding this motherfucker till the wheels fall off.
That's awesome. Congrats on the victory.
Thank you, sir.
Well done tonight, but two for me. Awesome performance. And just for the record, when you were talking with Doug, I'm glad the only scales you mess with are on Fridays when you weigh in. You did the right thing. What's the cardio that you have is unbelievable. People talk about the Marabs and the Fluffy Hernandezes and Cain Velasquez, but that has to be insane the way you get whatever heart rate you go and just you smother people. And if you're
Is that a fat joke?
is that
I'm just kidding. I'm sorry. I'll never interrupt you again. I'm sorry.
No, I'll get it. But you're working on this. But what is the secrets, if you can? A little bit of like, do you do altitude? Do you swim a lot besides play basketball? Because that pace is tremendous. Like you just broke him with the way you were just not letting that man, you know, have any breathing room. And you did keep him on the back foot, which is what really honestly not let him get his offense going either.
I really appreciate that, first and foremost. I don't know how much people are gonna like hearing this, but I think like smoking weed has been a huge advantage to me. I get stoned before my fucking sprinting sessions. I go do 15 to 30 minutes on an Aerodyne bike in a sauna with a sweatsuit, and I'll do 15 seconds as hard as I can, 30 seconds coasting, and I'll just do that for two, 15-minute rounds. Wrestling with some of the best wrestlers in the nation has, these guys don't give me no chance to breathe, so in turn I gotta grow, you know. And yeah, just taking it seriously, you know. I feel like with how big I was, my body worked so hard to keep me like alive, and I was relatively athletic, so I think that definitely plays a major part. But with the shrinkage, I guess it's definitely been a huge help.
Man, that's awesome. Good work. And last one, just a fun one. We got the holidays coming up. You know, we got that time of the year, Christmas. Do you have any traditions, any fun memories, a gift that you got that made you feel all kinds of special as a kid? Anything you could share with the fans and us?
I was just telling this story actually to my family today when we were sitting in the hotel. I was like 12 years old. I was a huge WWE fan growing up, like insane, right? John Cena, Dwayne The Rock, Stone Cold, fucking Superfly Snuka, what's up? My parents got me a John Cena autograph, and I'm a 10-year-old dumbass kid. I'm like, you guys met John Cena? Are you serious? And then they just rolled with it. Thank God they didn't lie to me because it would have crushed my spirit. But I thought they met John Cena for the longest time, and that shit was hung on my wall till I was like almost 20. So, so shout out John Cena.
He's making the walk right now. So.
Tonight's his last match.
Shout out John Cena. We miss you.
Good work tonight. Congrats on the win.
Thank you, brother.